I'm Gerry Loose, and I'm going to read you 3 poems from Scotland, where I live, on a small island off the west coast. The Plague. That first night, thrushes woke and sang. Old Tam left 3 eggs at the door. With these I kindled the yellow light in furs. On the second day, oyster catchers piped, then flew to the roof of the abandoned school. The moon was not lit. On the third evening at 8 o'clock, people went to their windows and applauded silence. When the fourth day arrived, we found the world had grown larger. Hollow creel boats bobbed affirmation. After that was the next day. We told stories from beyond and behind, stories of yet to happen and end times. The 6th, and Peg left a bottle of beer at the door, or maybe that was the 7th at dusk, and maybe she left a sea woman's purse. The 8th day brought pennies to our eyelids and seraphs who masquerade as wild geese. Yes, the 8th day still dawned, still at dawn. The 7th day, or perhaps the 6th, we all rose from where we had been, the youngest and then the oldest. The Wall. There is a sort of list of dedications here to people over the centuries who have attempted to build walls. They have all fallen, mostly. So the dedication of sorts goes like this. Qin Shi Huang, Emperor, who built the Great Wall of China. Publius Hadrianus, the one we call Hadrian, Emperor. He built Hadrian's Wall to divide the Roman Empire from the Scots. Titus Aurelius Fulvius Antoninus, Emperor. He built yet another wall, the Antonine Wall, to keep the Scots at bay. Walter Ulbricht, the first secretary, his idea was the Berlin Wall. Nikita Khrushchev, the first secretary, he allowed the Berlin Wall to be built. Ehud Barak, prime minister, first approved the wall in Palestine. Ariel Sharon, prime minister, continued and expanded the wall in Palestine. Donald John Trump, president, demanded and began the building of the wall at the Mexican border. My father worked on this wall. He was not important, except to my mother and myself. He was not a big man. He lifted stone on stone, a lifetime's work, went to work every day, but soon stayed on the wall. It was too far to come home each day. It was farther than we could walk, though it seems to me, unless it's circular, there must be ends, even if they fall into the sea. Can the sea be walled in? He was promoted. He was the one who pulled the lever to tip the cement into the forms to make sure it was even across the steel rods. When it was finished, when the wall was finished, he found he was not on the same side as us. Our backs here ache carrying the little water we are allowed, an existence for us all, to have our hearts on one side of the wall, hands and backs on the other. Though my father's heart is here, his back is there, and my mother doesn't know where her heart is, whether in the single fruit tree we have left, or with her dead sister, or in the man only her thoughts can reach. She brings her own hands together, supplicant, because she cannot touch his. The wall is already 400 miles long, 25 feet high, built of steel, concrete, wire, yes, orchards, mothers, sons, aching backs, piles of shoes, cellos, oranges, footballs, empty cans, dishes, pots, pans, forks and spoons, arteries, veins, teeth, bones. At the foot of the wall, among other wild herbs we are not allowed to pick, the purple flowers of Lunaria rediviva that we call honesty, perennial honesty. And a short poem from an early book. I should have spoken more of the moments, interstices, cracks and conjunctions, spoken more freely as John Coltrane, the sad sweetness of the tenor saxophone. I should have spoken of the green of the willow buds on the road to Tulloch Bridge, of the moments I was mute in contemplation of fatherhood, spoken of the river as it passes from father to son and to daughter, spoken but was truly inarticulate, when we all know now where simplicity comes from. Dumb, I should have spoken for the dumb, silent for the silent. Let this stand for what has not been said, from the east and to the west. Let this stand for the heart.